So our strategy, very simply, in this whole dialogue here has been threefold. And it's, first of all, align the food chain. We've got to get the food chain to stop shooting itself in the foot. When a major poultry integrator announces that their chicken is antibiotic free, that's not necessarily a great position to take for the overall industry. When we start labeling that milks do not contain added hormones, that's not a good position. We cannot turn this differentiation thing into a good food, bad food debate. It has to be about choice. And that's the whole point of the market research study that we did. There is a segment out there that buys primarily on those kinds of issues. Satisfy the segment. That's good marketing. That's free market economy. Satisfy the segment, but don't don't make decisions that flip an entire supply chain and take choice away from the 95% that are a lot more concerned about the economics. So that's been our message to retailers, aligning the food chain first. Now, there's no question we've got a big job to do in enlightening the general public. But we've chosen to focus on the food chain first because we've seen a lot of decisions being made that we're going to take tools out of the hand of producers, farmers and producers. So that's been our focus and our emphasis here over the last 3 or 4 years. And then wrapped in that is telling a better story. And you've heard a lot of the elements this morning, so I won't focus on this a long period of time. But, there are probably others. Here's 4. Social, economic, science, and environment. We've made the mistake, and Rob talked about this, we've made the mistake of talking too much about the science. We have to have good science. And I know it's true in our company. We're a technology company. We are. And we have a hard time selling anything that doesn't have a big body of data and science behind it. That's just us. That's part of our DNA. That's not the way we need to communicate more broadly. There are other things that we need to talk about. And when it comes right down to it, we're in the food business, right? We are in the food business. Agriculture is about producing food. It's about feeding the world. And when you boil it down in simplistic terms like that, it gives you a whole nother platform to talk about. So if you talk about the social elements, again, hunger. We've talked about hunger, and I'm not going to go through a lot of hunger statistics for you. It's a big, big problem. And it's not just over there. It's not just in developing nations. It's right here in the United States as well. In Indianapolis, there's 30,000 kids in the Indianapolis public school system that depend primarily on that lunch program for their nutrition. 30,000 kids in the center of America, where we feel like we're pretty isolated sometimes from the swings that go on the coast and so on and so forth. Right there in the heartland, we're experiencing it as well. So we talk about the social elements. We talk about the economics. Look what's happened in the last several years. The food price index is up 4.2%. Over 23% of families are having a hard time meeting food needs. In fact, in the world today, there are more people struggling with food security than are not. So, regrounding ourselves and talking about why do we do what we do? Why do we invest in technology? Because we've got a world to feed. That's the bottom line. And we've referred to some of these statistics. So you talk about the abundance piece and the science piece of it. We have the answer. If you define technology broadly, and you define it in terms of products and practices and genetics, this has been the effect of technology here over the last 60 years. We've pretty much kept things flat in terms of inputs, and we've increased outputs almost 3 times. This is a story we need to tell. The benefits, and this is what Rob was hinting at, it's the benefits that we need to talk about, not just the science itself. And here's something we don't talk about often enough. The impact of technology. Again, those three aspects of technology on the environment. So if you just want to take milk production as an example, we produce as much milk today with one cow that took 5 cows to do just 60 years ago. And we're producing a gallon of milk today, 65% less water and 90% less land. This is another point of connection with retailers and processors and manufacturers, food manufacturers. Almost all of them have social responsibility platforms on conserving the environment. Sustainability, if you will. And they haven't connected the dots that if you eliminate certain production practices and technology, and you take that out of the hands of producers, it has a huge impact on the environment. And a lot of what we've been trying to accomplish here in the last 3 or 4 years is helping the food chain connect those dots. So telling a better story, using all the elements at our disposal, not just talking about the science. And then the third element is finding advocates. Great quote here from Jason Clay. If we're going to feed 9 billion people, then we have got to freeze the footprint of the world. Well, isn't that what this slide says we've done? We have. We've frozen that input. Jason Clay has been an outspoken advocate for the importance of science and technology in reducing that imprint on the environment, that footprint on the environment. We've worked very closely with Jason on the Global Roundtable for Sustainable Beef. And I would tell you, in all honesty, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have thought our organization would be reaching out to NGOs and trying to find commonality with NGOs. We don't agree on everything. This is something we agree on. We agree on the importance of technology in conserving the environment and the footprint. So that's another thing that we need to do. So in summary, that has been Elanco's approach. That has been our approach. And I submit that again to you humbly, that that's not the entire answer. But we believe we've had some impact. We at least have had some impact on the food chain. And I think one of the things that I'm hoping to learn today is how we can work together to have more impact on the public at large. Thank you.